Hi friends, it's Brittany Valadez here for BravelyDaily.com. I am chatting with a friend and my professor at Biola University, Sean McDowell. Now you guys know him as a Christian apologist because he is, and he has just written a new book called Chasing Love, Sex, Love, and Relationships in a Confused Culture. Don't forget to buy his book, which I will put in the description box below. All right, if you guys like this video, please do me a huge favor. I mean huge. Subscribe. Yes, that button right there. Subscribe. Also, like this video, give it a thumbs up, and of course, follow me on social media. I'll just list all my social media accounts in the description box below. Okay, let's get started. Can you just tell us about your book in general? Who is it addressed to, and why you felt the need to write this type of book?
Chasing Love is for high school students. And one of the biggest reasons I wrote it is because I have 3 students who are Gen Zers, a son who is 16. I have a daughter who's 13, and we have virtually a son who lives with us who's 16. So I have 3 teens in my home that I care about deeply. And we have these kinds of conversations. I teach high school. I'm tuned in with this generation. And it's obvious that questions about sex and sexuality and marriage are just at the forefront of cultural conversation. And I think I looked at resources and books that are out there and didn't find any that I thought were deeply biblically rooted, relevant to the questions students were asking, but also interesting, full of stories and examples and, some scenarios with my wife and my kids that I think students could relate to. So, and the other thing is, interestingly enough, my dad led the first global sexual purity campaign in the 80s when I was growing up. And so I kind of grew up hearing this sexual purity message. And so when I started writing this book, I was reflecting back on what I was taught, what I'm thankful for, what maybe I saw differently, how the culture has changed. So personally, it was just a really cool process of reflecting back and saying, how can I help my kids the way my parents helped me? Now,
you do have high school kids, Gen Zers, and in the book, you do get specific, sharing examples from your marriage with your wife and you. So have your kids read the book, or is it something where you're like, maybe later, just, read the book? Because it is for high school kids. But I mean, considering it's their parents that, first of all, the book was written by their dad. And second of all, he's talking about their mom and himself. Like, have your kids read it?
So the manuscript, I had my daughter read when she was 12. And that's about the youngest I would recommend for a book like this, maybe 11 if parents talk it through with their kids. But I told her, I said, hey, if you read this whole book and you and I go out for coffee and just talk about it, I'll buy you a pair of shoes. Now, my daughter's pretty smart. We have an outlet near us. She's like, Dad, I could get 2 Vans for the price of one. Is that okay? I was like, fine, whatever. You can get 2 pairs of Vans. But she read the whole thing. And we just went out, we sat down probably hour and a half and just talked about the content in the book. Now, my son is in my high school class. And since the book is just coming out right now, he's actually just starting to read it, and we'll be discussing it in the class as well.
So what advice would you give to parents who are trying to figure out when they should talk to their kids about sex? I mean, honestly, in my opinion, I feel like there's 2 types of parents. There's ones that are like, oh, it's kind of embarrassing. I feel like, especially in the church, they're really nervous. And then there's other parents that are like, oh, just here's condoms. Like, they got nothing.
I would have 2 encouragements for parents. Number 1, if you don't talk to your kids, the culture will. The culture is talking to them, whether it's through TikTok videos, Netflix movies, music, public education, their friends, advertising. Endless messages about sex, love, and marriage are being sent to this generation. So it's not a question if the culture is going to speak to them. The question is, are their parents going to speak to them? So that's my first thing. Second, I think a lot of parents feel ill-equipped, like they don't have to have all the answers, or they've made mistakes in the past and don't have the right. And I would say to the first one, you don't have to have all the answers. First off, if you're married and have kids, then you know a lot more about sex than these kids do. You'd be surprised at how much you can kind of make your way through a conversation. And if you don't know, you just say, that's a really good question. Let me think about that and get back to you. That's great. But to the second one, I don't think kids expect their parents to be perfect. In fact, I know they don't. I think in many ways, parents go, you know what? God has blessed our marriage, or maybe we're struggling in our marriage, whatever the parent is at. But looking back, I wasn't perfect. Here's things maybe I did well. Here's mistakes I made. And because I love you, I want to share with you how that's affected me in my life. And I found the vast majority of students will listen to their parents in a relationship when they frame it that way.
Sean, thank you so much for spending a part of your day with me. I absolutely learned so much, and I'm sure our viewers did as well. All right, so where can they find you on social media and online in general?
Probably the simplest place, my website, SeanMcDowell.org. I've got links to a YouTube channel that I have, which is a ton of fun. And that tends to be more apologetics, worldview, cultural issues. I'm also on Twitter. And my Twitter is not just like cat videos. I'm trying to put quotes and articles and resources and short videos that genuinely help people. Also on Instagram. And I do probably a video a day or so on TikTok, which is fun. And I've done some dance videos with my daughter and basketball videos with my son. But I really just answer. I got a ton of questions at a conference I was just at recently. And I told the students, I said, hey, if you follow me on TikTok, I'll start answering these questions, over the next couple of weeks. So I just answer tough questions, some about sex and marriage, many about does God exist, and tough verses in the Bible. So you're right. I'm just about everywhere on social media. I really enjoy it. It'd be fun. So any of your viewers, I'd love to engage and interact on social media.
Now, don't forget to buy Sean's book, Chasing Love, Sex, Love, and Relationships in a Confused Culture. I will list that in the description box below. Friends, wasn't Sean fantastic? He's great, really, really he is. And if you guys have any questions, follow him online. Also follow him on TikTok and YouTube. He gives a lot of quick answer videos there, both of those. He's really great. And you can just check his social media accounts in the description box below. Now again, if you guys like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. You can also follow me on social media, which I will list all my social media accounts in the description box below. One more thing. Don't forget to watch all the videos in this series of my interview with Sean McDowell. Until next time, I'm Brittany Valadez for BravelyDaily.com. God bless, and I'll see you in the next one.